Tonight, the Apollo Theater comes to Troy University.
Plus, a new use for the old dining hall. Stay tuned. TrojanVision Nightly News starts now.
A high-definition digital production center on the Troy campus with news from Troy University locations around the world. This is Troy TrojanVision Nightly News.
Hello and welcome to Troy TrojanVision Nightly News for January 9th, 2012. I'm Judson Garner.
And I'm Bailey Majors. Thank you for joining us this evening. Troy University School of Music will soon get a brand new building to replace the aging Long Hall. But until construction is complete, the band had to find a new place to practice, and as Felecia Payne tells us, it isn't where you might expect.
What once served as a dining hall for all students on campus is now the interim home for the School of Music at Troy University. The Stewart Dining Hall has been modified to fit the temporary needs of the Sound of the South while a new facility is being built.
We're in Old Saga because that's our swing space, that's our temporary space while they build the new long hall.
The move wasn't a sudden decision for the band. Upgrades had to be made to Stewart Dining Hall before the band could move in. Some of the upgrades include closing off the kitchen area, removing chairs and tables, adding key fobs to the doors, and putting up caging to serve as safe storage area for instruments and equipment.
The best part is it's actually not a bad place to rehearse. I mean, we have plenty of room and it's reasonably convenient, so that's a good thing.
The School of Music is very excited for the facility to be built and have adjusted to being in Stewart for the time being.
The new facility is just going to be a tremendous boon to the university, not only for the band and the choir and dance and everything else, as far as the School of Music is concerned, the College of Communication and Fine Arts, but also it's going to be just a beautiful building on campus. It's going to help recruitment a lot. Not only for the arts programs that we have, but also for the entire university.
The new facility will be built where the current band room is now and will include rooms for the Sound of the South, vocal groups, and the dance department, as well as large practice areas for students and storage rooms for equipment. Construction is set to begin with demolition of the current Long Hall this summer. Felecia Payne, Troy, TrojanVision News.
Construction on the new Long Hall is expected to start later this year and is expected to take about a year to complete.
There are plenty of talent contests out there, but there aren't many that allow the audience the chance to decide who wins. Well, last night, Troy's National Association of Black Journalists put the deciding vote in the hands of the people. Danielle Wallace has a story.
Troy's National Association of Black Journalists annual Apollo Night event entertained students Wednesday night with a variety of acts that took the stage. The audience also had a chance to win different prizes during the show. Admission was $3 with a canned good and $4 without a canned good. A portion of the proceeds from the event were donated to the Troy Christian Love Center for tutoring and daycare services, while the canned goods were donated to a local food bank.
The show everything went smoothly. That's what I was praying would happen. Everything just kept flowing. It was a good show. The audience was entertained, and that's what I really wanted.
In addition to the 12 performers in the show, there was also a comedy segment to gain laughs from the audience. But once the night was over, only one of the performers walked away as the winner.
Really worried because there's a lot of great acts tonight. It was really close, but I feel amazing.
Apollo Night wasn't the first time Morgan's voice soared above the rest. She's also a former Troy Ilium Idol winner. The performers from the event gained great support from the audience. However, there were a few that were led off the stage by the famous Sandman. Danielle Wallace, Troy, TrojanVision News.
The NABJ puts on Apollo Night every year as an homage to the popular TV show It's Showtime at the Apollo. Well, Bailey, last night the Trojan Center looked more like Las Vegas as students took their chances and placed a few bets.
That's right, Judson, but no one was in danger of losing their rent money. It was all in fun. Hernan Diaz has more.
Students gambling? A casino in Troy University? Yes, you heard it right. Students of Troy University met on Wednesday night to enjoy a time of card games and gambling in the well-known event on campus called Casino Night.
Casino Night is hosted each year by the University Activities Council, the proud organization for which we represent. It is just a fun way to get students out here to show them that Troy University is an on-campus fun community with each other, that they can have fun while taking classes.
But what can we find in this kind of event?
We have roulette, blackjack, poker. Just have fun, eat food, enjoy, watch music videos. We have an air bar. Like, do whatever you want just to relieve your stress before you go back to your room to study and just have fun for the night.
It's the first time the casino night event is carried out this year, and as it is an important activity on campus, some students give us their opinion on what they think about the occasion.
The casino night is an awesome opportunity for students to come out and interact with each other, and it's just an awesome event.
It's nice. I mean, it's something different in Troy. You know, it's a small town, so we need activities on campus, and I think that's a great idea.
The purpose of this activity is not only for students to have fun on campus, they actually can win real prizes using fake money.
They can find a Blu-ray disc player, which they can win tonight, or a digital camera, which they can also win tonight, or they can win something simple, basic for the dorm, like laundry detergent, because we all need that. Or they can win something really cool for their girlfriend, like a Valentine's stuffed animal, in case they forgot.
Hernan, Diaz, TrojanVision News.
The next event will be movie night at the Continental Cinemas.
And now taking a look at news from around the state, authorities say an autopsy report shows that a North Alabama woman who died after cosmetic surgery on her lips suffered from a painkiller overdose. Limestone County officials say 57-year-old Janet Green died of acute methadone intoxication.
Authorities are offering a reward totaling about $4,000 for information after thieves broke into 5 patrol vehicles from different Alabama law enforcement agencies, taking guns and a bulletproof vest. An Etowah County Sheriff's spokeswoman says the break-ins occurred between midnight and 6 o'clock Monday morning.
Authorities say a 69-year-old rim lamp woman has been killed while trying to direct traffic after several cars on Alabama 75 crashed. The Blount County coroner identifies the woman who died after being struck by a car last night as Reba Harris.
Still to come on TrojanVision Nightly News, the softball team is gearing up for their first game this weekend. Tiffany Lester will be in next with sports with all the details.
Plus, do you have insomnia? There may be a less expensive way to find out why you're having sleepless nights. That story is next.
I'm Manuel Gallegos in New York. If you snore, doctors recommend that you come into a lab for a sleep study. But now technology is making it easier to do the testing at home. We'll have that story coming up.
There's a lot more to somebody being successful in society than just their diploma. We're in the business of making well-rounded individuals.
They taught me so much more than skills. At Troy, they truly believe that one person can make a difference.
We want to educate the mind to think, the heart to feel, the body to act. We're not trying to be all things to all people, but what we do very well.
Troy University, in class, online, within reach. Troy.edu.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning TrojanVision Nightly News.
And now for a look at what's happening across the nation and around the world, we'll go to Judson Gardner at the Global News Desk. Judson?
Thanks a lot, Bailey. If you snore to the point where it's impacting your sleep but don't want to go to an overnight lab for analysis, doctors are now giving some patients the option of testing at home. Manuel Gallegos reports from New York.
James McManus snores when he sleeps, but it's his wife Laura who wakes up exhausted.
I would wake up some mornings and realize that Laura had spent the entire night on the couch.
It startles me awake and I can't go back to sleep, so it's disrupting enough.
So McManus decided to get a detailed analysis of his sleep in the privacy of his own home. No doctors, no hospital lab, just this small device that measures his pulse rate, oxygen intake, breathing, and brain waves. The recorded data will show whether his snoring is a sign of a more serious sleep disorder.
25 to 30% of the population snores. And out of that subset of patients, I'm sure 50% of those patients have some degree of sleep apnea.
A person with sleep apnea stops breathing or has low air intake during sleep. They can wake up tired even after 8 or 9 hours of rest.
A sleep study where you're monitored in a lab like this one can cost up to $2,500 and you're away from home. But home studies are becoming more popular and usually cost less than $600.
It's certainly not as comprehensive as an actual in-lab study, but for patients that you suspect may or may not have mild or moderate sleep apnea, it's certainly an appropriate test.
And for James, testing in a lab would have stressed him out.
I sometimes have trouble in hotels even for the first night or two sleeping.
Now he's looking into treatments that will allow him and his wife to get a good night's rest. Manuel Gallegos, CBS News, New York.
Conservative voters and politicians are speaking out against a new White House policy on contraception. Some say it's a violation of First Amendment rights, but President Obama's fellow Democrats are standing behind the new requirement. Danielle Nottingham reports from the White House.
Conservatives gathered in Washington for their annual convention are rallying against a new White House policy on birth control.
One thing's for certain, this attack on religious freedom cannot and will not stand.
Under the president's health care reform law, church-affiliated schools, hospitals, and charities that provide insurance to their employees must cover the cost of contraceptives. GOP leaders call that a violation of First Amendment rights and say they'll try to repeal it.
This is about President Obama having control over every aspect of your life, especially for women, from conception to death.
Top White House officials appear to be looking for a way out of the controversy. They say the president is exploring how to ease the concerns of religious groups. He's getting support from his fellow Democrats on Capitol Hill.
We commend the president's decision and will fight hard to make sure that the women of America in the 21st century can get the insurance coverage they need for family planning and birth control.
But the election year showdown could cause problems for the president. The Republican candidates on the campaign trail are pointing to the birth control requirements as they work to win the support of conservative voters. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, the White House.
There's new help for homeowners hurt by the collapse of the housing market. Today, the government announced a settlement with financial institutions. Alexis Christoforous tells us what that means for millions of people struggling to keep their homes.
The settlement forces the nation's biggest banks to offer help to struggling homeowners. It's part of a government move to hold banks accountable for abuses that fueled the collapse of the housing market. 5 banks agreed to a deal worth at least $25 billion.
This agreement reflects our commitment to ensure justice and to recover losses for victims of reckless and abusive mortgage practices.
The agreement stems from investigations into the foreclosures that followed the burst of the housing bubble. To speed up evictions, workers sometimes signed documents they hadn't read or faked signatures, a process known as robo-signing. The deal is the broadest plan so far to help borrowers who are underwater on their loans. It allows them to refinance at lower rates or reduce their debt. There's also money in the deal for people who've already lost their homes. About $1.5 billion will go to borrowers who went through foreclosure between September 2008 and the end of last year. That will cover 750,000 people who will receive checks for up to $2,000 each.
We are using this opportunity to fix a broken system and to lay the groundwork for a better future.
The deal involves Bank of America, Wells Fargo, JP Morgan Chase, Citigroup, and Ally Financial. Those 5 handle more than half of all outstanding mortgages. While the deal brings relief to nearly 2 million homeowners, there are still millions of others at risk. Alexis Christoforous, CBS News, New York.
And that'll wrap things up from the Global News Desk. To see more stories from across the country and around the world, you can tune in to Trojan Vision Global News right after the nightly news. Now back to you, Bailey.
Thank you, Judson. And now Tiffany Lester joins us with sports. So, Tiffany, it's kind of been weird not having a basketball game going on this week.
It's true. We haven't seen any basketball during the week, but we should be seeing some this weekend. But we have seen some tennis action today, and I'll get into that right now. The Troy men's tennis team hit the court today to play its home opener against last year's Southern Conference champions. The Trojans welcomed the Sanford Bulldogs to the Lunsford Tennis Complex, and that match began at 2:30 this afternoon. The Trojans haven't been in action since January 21st when they fell to number 21 Auburn. Troy's only other match came at number 44, Florida State. After today's match, Troy will travel to take on Alabama on Saturday before hosting Kennesaw State on Sunday at 1 p.m. The Trojan softball team has a busy weekend ahead of them, and for the first weekend in action, their schedule is slam-packed with back-to-back games. 2 games on Friday and Saturday, and a morning game on Sunday in the Southeastern Louisiana Line Classic. But even with all of the games ahead, head coach Melanie Davis says that only one game is on the Trojans' minds.
We're not really looking past the first day. We play Jackson State, who went to the NCAAs last year. They won their conference. They have a new coach. He's brought in a lot of quality players. They did lose a few key players, but they're going to be a tough foe, and so that's who we open up with.
They open against Jackson State University Friday at 12:30 p.m., followed by the Jayhawks of the University of Kansas at 3 p.m. Saturday, they start against Nicholls State University at 3 and then against Northern Illinois University at 5:30. The Trojans will close out the weekend at 10 a.m. on Sunday against the University of Akron. And while tomorrow's matchup will be the first game for the Trojans, for many players it will be their first game ever in Troy uniform, and that includes 4 of the 5 Trojan pitchers. Danielle Percival takes a look at how the Trojans will handle the loss of a big senior presence on the mound.
The start of a new season means seeing new faces on the diamond, and for the softball team, the freshman pitchers have some big shoes to fill. Ashlyn Williams was a 4-year starter for the Trojans and set the single-season record for wins with 28 as a freshman. A replacement won't be easy to find, but head coach Melanie Davis already has her eye on one player.
Well, we're really excited. Number one, although J.C. Affeld is a freshman, she's a very experienced player, has played a lot of international ball. She represents the country of Canada on the 19 and under junior national team. Just got back from a performance over in South Africa at the World Championships where she was a part of their successful battery who finished number 5 in the Worlds, and she was in a 4-hole for them offensively. So J.C., although she's a freshman in Division I ball, we feel really excited about the confidence and the experience she will bring to the mound.
Though the Trojans will have a younger pitching staff than they have in recent seasons, Davis says she is confident in their ability to adjust to the level of play.
Although they're young, I think they'll they've worked really hard. I've been out at practices with them in recent days to help create some more pressure for them, and they're stepping up really well, and we just hope they'll continue to do that.
While the pitching staff will be relatively inexperienced, Davis says she has leaders behind the plate who can help these freshmen.
The pitchers are leaders just by the way they control the tempo of the game, but I think the catchers behind the plate will have to do a lot to help with that leadership, to help keep them calm when things get a little tight. I don't think you'll see as much leadership vocally from those freshmen, but I think that they'll lead with their performance, and then they'll have their teammates in all those classes and those responsibilities to back them up.
Danielle Percival, Troy, Trojan Vision Sports.
So Judson Bailey, while the softball season is just now starting, for some players it is their first season ever in Troy uniform, and hopefully we will get to see them succeed.
Absolutely, and we wish them the best of luck.
Oh yes, definitely.
All right, thanks a lot, Tiffany.
Thank you.
Still to come on Trojan Vision Nightly News, Aaron Taylor finds out what the Salvation Army is giving back to the community.
But first, the weather has been sunny and breezy during the day with cooler temperatures during the night. What can we expect coming up? Derica?
Check out this chef, right? Right? That's so gay. That's really gay. Look at those hands.
Please don't say that.
What?
Don't say that something is gay when you mean that something is dumb or stupid. It's insulting. It's like if I thought this pepper shaker was stupid and I said, man, and this pepper shaker is so 16-year-old boy with a cheesy mustache. Just saying. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
Time was, kids did what came naturally, spending free time running through the grass, exploring streams. But times have changed. Today's indoor kids spend more than 7 hours in front of electronic media. That's why National Wildlife Federation created the Be Out There movement. Outdoor play improves kids' health, body, mind, and spirit. It helps them stay fit, enhances creativity, and could even make them better students. There's a reason they call it the Great Outdoors. Learn more at beoutthere.org.
From the high-definition digital production studios of Troy University, you're watching the award-winning Trojan Vision Nightly News.
And now Derica James joins us with weather.
So Derica, the weather was kind of weird today. It started out really cool in the morning. A lot of people were wearing heavy jackets, and as the day rolled on, it got a lot warmer in the afternoon. So what should we be expecting for this weekend?
Well, for the weekend, it's going to be pretty cool. We're going to have a little interruption, and I'll get into that later. But right now, let's look at our campus snapshot, shall we? And as you can see, the campus snapshot is looking pretty nice right now. The sun is going down, and it should be a pretty good night. But as we go into our current conditions, we see skies are sunny. Temperature coming in at 62, dew point at 35, humidity is at 37%, barometer is at 30.18, and rising with winds coming from the northwest at 10 miles per hour. Then as we go into today's statistics, a high of 64, low of 34. There was no rain today. Sunrise at 6:32 a.m. and the sun should set at 5:24 p.m. Now, as we look at temperatures across the state, we see that Huntsville coming in at 49, Birmingham at 62, Montgomery at 62, Troy at 62, Phoenix City at 65, Dothan at 65, and Mobile coming in at 66. Then as we go into current temperatures, we see that most of the southeast is keeping a pretty cool temperatures across the southeast, with Florida still only ones coming in with 70-degree temperatures. As we look at the U.S. as a whole, we see that the West and the Midwest experiencing about some 30 and 20-degree weather. So they're getting some pretty chilly weather right now. And as we go into current service, we see on the West they have some high-pressure systems and low-pressure systems with a few scattered systems, have some icy conditions and some rain conditions as well. But our region is pretty much clear with light winds and a high pressure system sitting off to the west of us. And as we go into the next 48 hours, we shouldn't really expect any rain systems coming through, as you can see. But on the west of us, they might be seeing about a 10 to 20% chance of rain. So over the next few days, we might have a chance of seeing that. But as of right now, we should stay clear. And as we go into Thursday's cast, you see all day today and by tonight, we shouldn't see anything coming through. Friday, we shouldn't see much coming through. Probably about the tip of Alabama in the northwest, maybe seeing some temperatures. And on Saturday, it should remain clear. And on Sunday, it should remain clear. So tonight, partly cloudy skies with a very calm night with light winds coming from the north at 5 to 10 miles per hour. But it shouldn't really get past 4 miles with a low of 37. Tomorrow, clear skies should become partly cloudy by midday, but winds should come no more than from the north at 6 miles per hour with a high of 62. Then as we look at our class outlook, it's going to be a very chilly day tomorrow, so you want to keep that hot cocoa on hand and that coat on hand. Instead of running outside, let's go to the gym and have a nice run on the treadmill. And now as we look at our 4-day forecast, you see that it should be nice throughout the rest of the week with partly cloudy skies and highs in the 60s and 50s with lows in the 30s and 40s. So as you can see, Justin, it's going to be a pretty nice week with just a slight chance of showers coming through, probably about a 10 to 20% chance this weekend. But other than that, it should be a very nice weekend, even though at night you're going to need that jacket.
Yeah, definitely. It looks like it's going to get considerably colder, too.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Derica.
All right. Thank you.